Hi, I'm going to present the introductions. Social media is a major part of daily life, especially for students, providing platform for communications, entertainment, and information sharing. Its influence is strong, with students using it for social connections, educational purposes, and leisure activities. While social media has many benefits, its impact on mental health is a significant concern. For students at the School of Quantitative Science (SQS) at University Utara Malaysia (UUM), social media plays a role in both their academic and personal life. Thus, this study explores the positive and negative effects of social media on the mental health of SQS students. Also, this research examines factors such as the frequency and nature of social media interactions and the mental health outcome associated with it. By understanding social media's impact, authorities can develop support systems, educational programs, and policies to promote healthier social media habits and improve students' well-being. Next is our problem statement. The prevalence of social media among university students these days has sparked a significant concern regarding its impact on their mental health. As for the SQS students in UUM, they highly rely on social media in order to maintain social connections, access educational resources, and engage in daily activities. Social media poses both positive and negative impacts on the user. Therefore, understanding how social media affect the mental health of SQS students is essential to develop suitable and effective strategies for maximizing social media benefit while avoiding its adverse impact. So, the objectives of these studies are: firstly, to identify and evaluate the relationship between hours of time spent on social media per day and the impact of it to the mental health of SQS students. Next, to evaluate and identify the positive and negative effects of social media usage on the mental health of SQS students. Moreover, it is to evaluate the overall satisfaction level of SQS students with their social media experiences. And lastly, to provide insight and recommendations for improving mental health outcomes related to social media use among SQF students. Next, there are many significant of this study, which are: first, provide insight to the UUM management team, especially UUM Counselling Center, regarding SQS students' mental health and ways to improve this problem. Second, to identify the positive and negative impacts of social media usage among the students. Third, to inform the design of educational program aimed at promoting better social media habits. So overall, this study contributes to the student well-being and academic success by providing actionable recommendation to enhance the positive aspect and mitigate the negative impacts of social media. Lastly, the scope of these studies are to investigate the impact of social media on the mental health of SQS students at UUM and focus on both positive and negative aspects of social media. The data will be analyzed further using stratified sampling method in this project.
Probability sampling is used in this research. The target population is SQS students, so we decided to use the stratified sampling since the target population can be divided into three subgroups, which is division size, business max, and industrial statistic. So we have chosen to use the stratified random sampling. By using this method, the bias can be reduced and the bound of error can be reduced also. For the sample size, we have used the slowing formula to determine the target sample which need for this research, which is 266. But to make sure that 266 is enough to divide for 3 strata, so we divide the 266 by 3 and get 88.67, and this means that each class is supposed to be 89 sample. So the final sample is 267. By using the proportional allocation, we have found that the sample size that need for each strata. For decision size, the sample need is 322, and for industrial statistic, the sample need is 229, and business max in 200 is 37. Besides for stratified random sampling, we also decided to use another alternative sampling method, which is convenience sampling. By using this method, we just invite any student from SQS student who like to do the survey and until the sample needed are reached. And for the data collection method, we have decided to use questionnaire, which is a Google form. The reason for us to choose this method is the online survey is more effective as we can get the response as soon as possible because the respondent need to submit through the online. And we just send the Google form link to the respondent and they can fill out the link. In this research, the demographic patterns such as age, semester, program, frequency of social media usage per day, and the favorite social media are illustrated by using a descriptive method. So we've decided to use frequency and percentage to construct a pie chart. And for the confidence level, we have used a 95% confidence level. So we have only a 5% chance of being wrong. So we are 95% confident that the result can generalize the population. And for the first hypothesis, we have conducted 4 hypotheses for this research. For the first hypothesis, we use correlation analysis, and second hypothesis, we use linear regression analysis, and third, we use one-way analysis of variance, which is ANOVA. Fourth, we use user correlation coefficient. And the first hypothesis is there is no relationship between the social media usage and the level of stress among SQS students. And second, social media usage does not significantly impact the academic performance of SQS students. Third, social media usage does not significantly influence the self-esteem level of SQS students. And lastly, there is no association between social media usage during late night hours and the quality of sleep among SQS students.
Graphic analysis. Firstly, the chart show that the age range of the SQS student. The data show that the majority of SQS students in the industrial statistics, business mathematics, and decision science are 22 to 23 years old, which is represented by 127 students, which equal to 47.6% that their mental health is affected due to the use of social media. Secondly, show the semester of SQS student charge. The data show that SQS students mostly consist of semester 4 students, which is 97 students, which equal to 36.3%. The chart shows the program of SQS students. The chart shows that SQS students are mostly from the decision science program, which almost half of the total SQS students, with a total of 109 students, which equal to 40.8%. For show that the chart shows the hour of social media used by SQS students per day. The majority of SQS students spend their time using social media about 3 to 5 hours a day. Show that 109 students equal to 40.8%. That show the most frequently used social media by SQS students. The data show that in the chart show that SQS students mostly use Instagram as the platform they often use, which 225 students, which equal to 84.3% use these applications.
Assalamualaikum and hi. So next I will continue to present about the result and discussion for the stratified random sampling analysis. So our total population consists of 788 of SQS students and is divided into the 3 courses, which is industrial statistics with 229 students, decision science with 322 students, and the business mathematics with 267 students. So before we proceed to calculate the overall mean and the variance of the stratified mean, first we can see at the left side in the slide that we calculate the total sample size first for each stratum, which is industrial stat we got 78 students, decision science we got 109 students, and business math we got 80 students. So at the right side in the slide we proceed with the calculate the variance and mean by assuming first for the industrial stat the mean and variance is 3.2 and 1.1. For decision science mean is 3.5 and the variance is 1.3, and for business math is mean 3.3 variance 1.2. So after calculate using the formula in this slide, the results show that the overall mean is 3.35 and the variance of the stratified sample mean is 0.00293. So a smaller variance suggests that the mean impact score is a reliable estimate with the less fluctuation. So in practical terms, it means that the impact score of the 3.35 is consistent and does not vary significantly across the population of SQS students. Next, I will proceed with the analysis of research question, and as you can see the schema rank correlation coefficient table in the slide, we use the schema rank correlation coefficient because the data were non-parametric, and the correlation here is to test the direction and strength between 2 qualitative variables that include in our questionnaire. So the results show that the variables staying connected with their friends via social media and finding support during the challenging time calculate the highest monetary correlation, which is 0.698, and the recorded p-value is less than 0.05. So this means the relationship between these two variables is statistically significant, and for other variables show a weaker relationship, but it's still influenced by each other. Next, I will present about the correlation analysis on the relationship between social media users and the stress level. So we have conducted the null hypothesis H0 and the alternative hypothesis H1, and from the model sample table we got the R value equal to 0.069, R square value 0.005, which is 0.5% variance in stress level explained by the social media users, and the value for the adjusted R square is 0.001, and for standard error is 1.355, and for the ANOVA table we got the F value is 1.262 and P value is 0.262 for the non-significant. So we can conclude that social media usage is not a significant predictor of stress level among the SQS students. So the regression coefficient and model summary matrix consistently suggest that social media usage does not reliably explain the variation in stress level. So next, I will continue with the linear regression analysis on the significant impacts between social media usage and the academic performance of SQS students. So we have conducted the null hypothesis H0 and the alternative hypothesis H1, and we got the R value, which is represent the moderate positive correlation, which is 0.335, and the R square is 0.112. This means 11.2% of variance in academic performance explained by the social media usage. So the adjusted R, we got the 0.109, and from ANOVA table we got the F value is 33.462 and the P value is less than 0.01, and the intercept constant we got the value is 3.672 and the T value is 14.390 and the P value is less than 0.01, and the coefficient for social media usage is 0.468 and the T value is 5.785 and the P value also less than 0.01. So since the P value for the coefficient is less than 0.01, we can reject the null hypothesis H0, and we can conclude that social media usage significantly impacts the academic performance of SQS students. Next, I will continue with statistical analysis on the significant influence between social media usage and the self-esteem levels of SQS students. So to examine the hypothesis research, we have made the hypothesis which is H0 and H1, and to test the hypothesis and determine if the differences in mean self-esteem scores across the different categories of social media usage were statistically significant, we conduct ANOVA test. So the results show that F value is 1.376 and the P value is 0.253. Since the P value is greater than the significant level of 0.05, we fail to reject the null hypothesis. So this means that there is no statistically significant difference in self-esteem scores among the different categories of social media usage. Next, I will continue with the present correlation analysis on the association between social media usage during late night hours and the quality of sleep. So we conduct the present correlation test to test the hypothesis because it measures the strength and direction of the association between two continuous or ordinary variables. So we can see from the table we got the p-value less than 0.01 and correlation coefficient R is equal to 0.282. Since the p-value is less than 0.01, we reject the null hypothesis. This means that there is a significant association between social media usage during late night hours and the quality of sleep among SQS students.
That consists limitation of the study and the recommendation of the studies. Firstly, is the sample representative of the study is one of the limitations. This is because it only focuses on SQS students, which will cause a narrow limit of students. Therefore, the result might be robust due to insufficient data to examine the mental health of students. Other than that, the study relies heavily on self-reported data through surveys. Thus, these hypotheses rise such as students might give answers they deem are acceptable. Thus, it could affect the reliability of our findings because the information might not be too accurate due to the biased opinion of the students. Other than that, for the recommendation of the study, firstly is to expand the sample size and diversity of the impact of social media toward mental health. This broader approach will ensure the findings are more representative of the diverse study populations. Secondly is the longitudinal sampling is essential to track the change in social media use toward mental health over time. This is because conducting study over a longer period of time could help us to observe change in social media use towards mental health more effectively. Thirdly, is including more factors is also another recommendation. For example, we can consider a broader range of variables that could influence how social media affect mental health, so that it could provide a more comprehensive relationship between social media use and mental health well-being. Furthermore, the researchers also can conduct an interview about the impact of social media towards mental health to obtain more accurate data. This because individual interview can allow the researcher to get deeper topic and clarify it compared to the survey. Conclusion. For this conclusion, this study revealed that social media significantly impact the mental health of SQS students with both positive and negative effect. Instagram is the most used platform with students spending 3 to 5 hours daily on the social medias. Analysis such as correlations and linear regression identify link between social media usage and various mental health factors. The study offers recommendations to mitigate negative effect and maximize the benefit. That's all. Thank you.